Rashad, why you didn't
Anyways,
hit me up?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
And I'll tell you something about technology, bro. I couldn't get my camera to come on for the last 2 days. So I looked it up. And shouts out to bro, man. First of all, hold on. Let me shout bro out, man. Shouts out to bro right here, dude. Marcus Presents. Bruh. It's crazy thing. I've seen this video before. And I don't think that's how I got it work last time. But shouts out to bro. Finally got my camera to work again after 2 days of just webcam, and it wasn't because like my battery wasn't that charged. It was just because I just couldn't get the camera to work. So shouts out to bro. I appreciate it so much. That was like a monkey off my back. Now for what you guys came for. That was a minute of just yapping. I apologize already. I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get into it. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 10K subs, man. Chancellor Bennett. 10 dang days. And all I got to shoot show for a show run road rage. But this ain't dead guy left. Always. Still got to let him in. No jacket. Still got to tell him in. No ranting. I messed up the words. I'm sorry. Answer the man pill when I ran from him here. I'm the new Nitty. Nitty owe me. So I'm gonna tell everybody, Nitty owe me, huh? I got that. I got that. Gosh dang. I'm your pusher, man. I'm your push Starline, bro. So this was very interesting, bro, because the hype around it, everybody was just kind of like, what you gonna do, Chance? They were like, this is your last chance. And the rollout for it was so strategic and so careful. He wanted to really make sure he got it right. And that made me almost nervous. Hold on. Let me hide my playlist here. That made me nervous because it made me nervous because it's just like, can anyone live up to that expectation, especially after going away? And music is a weird thing. You can always come back. You can always, you know what I'm saying, be something again, quote unquote, whatever that means, right? However, it's so these days, I think someone said there's 160 new songs uploaded on streaming platforms every single day. 160,000 songs. Not someone. It was Maverick Carter. He said it on The Shop, the recent episode of The Shop with Offset, Jid, and Flage, and the comedian Matt Friend. He said there's 160,000 songs uploaded a day. So with that, there's a new rapper, there's a new person that you're interested in every single day, and you move on to the next thing and you forget the person before, especially if you didn't like their newest stuff, their latest stuff. Say Amine is a great example, right, of someone who I feel like Limbo, what was my favorite rap project of 2020. It came out like, lockdown, everything like that. I remember Gambino dropped 31520 at the time, and I really like 31520. However, my favorite just pure rap project was Amine that year with Limbo. And ever since then, he did the collab project with K Tronada, and he's got a couple of his biggest records out on that album. But it's just like he hasn't necessarily connected with the masses in music the way that he did with Limbo and the way he did with his debut project and the Point 5 projects as well. In between each one, he hasn't really connected with his audience. Well, no, I wouldn't say his audience, because his audience is his audience, but with the masses like he did at the beginning of his career is what I'm trying to say. Since then, and I appreciate Amine because he's experimenting and he's trying different sounds and he's being an artist and he's evolving and he's trying different things. It's only so much you can talk about in your life when you're just purely talking about your life from a life standpoint. That's the same thing I feel like kind of what's going on with Smino, even though Smino's getting more popular. I feel like every album of Shmino's, and it might have just been only one album since the album where he's in the field, they're in the field picking the afros and stuff, looking in the mirror. Um, the latest album, people just kind of came and went, and then Smino came back and was like, I got another album coming out. Like, he constantly releases. It feels like he does a freestyle every Friday. At least once a week, he does a freestyle. But Smino kind of was like, "Yo, yeah. That was just some old stuff. I had a lot of extra records. I didn't know what to do with it. The new stuff is coming on the next album." And I say all of this to say, it just takes one slip up, one album that people don't really care too much for. It wasn't necessarily bad, but they didn't connect to it emotionally like they have previously connected to your work before. This is something I feel like Saba might be dealing with as well. I feel like his latest album, the one with No ID, like everybody's saying, one of the better rap albums of the year. However, it kind of flew under the radar because it doesn't, I don't think it uh hmm, he's going up against Care for Me. One of the greatest rap albums and just albums ever, right? Especially of his time, Care for Me. And when you're going up against that, people want like the feeling that you gave them with Care for Me. They want to be on the verge of tears. They want to be in some of the stuff. And it's like that was that part of his life, mourning the loss of his cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you can just necessarily put him back in that realm, right? In that feeling. Here we go, Chance the Rapper. 7 minutes later, right? Chance the Rapper, acid rap. A project like you're rapping as if you're on acid. Hence the title, right? And on acid rap, it's just it's agitated, it's high energy, it's jumpy, it's all over the place, right? He's saying whatever. The standards were back then of what you could say, for him saying "Have you Kobe" and everything like that. We say everybody hates the Lakers, everything like that. Like it was just different. It was a different time, and it was a different time in his life. Chance was like 18, bro. He's like 20, but 18 recording a lot of those songs. He was like 20 when it came out, and so was Fig Mensa with what internet tape. Shows to grow up, get a bit older, drop Coloring Book. It wasn't as great or as well received all across the board as Coloring Book was. I mean, as Acid Rap was. However, Coloring Book, by that time he got more famous from Acid Rap. Kanye kind of put his arm around them, and he went with Kurt Franklin, went a little gospel line as well, and that was that project. He won. He had all the Grammys and all the things, all the accolades from it because he had the partnership with Apple Music, exclusive Apple Music release, and then he released it for free everywhere else, right? Because he was like, "I'll never sell music," and now he's selling music. So it's like that's another thing. But yeah. So that was that, right? Then he did the thing with Jeremiah, which I liked. The Christmas joints. He did 2 years in a row, the Chicago Christmas joint or whatever. And then obviously he did the Donnie Trumpet project, which people kind of dismissed, but he came back with Coloring Book, so people forgot about it. And then it was after Coloring Book, it was up here. Chance was everywhere. He was mainstream, performing for the president, everything like that and stuff. And then comes the big day. And the big day was just like, bro, what is going on? I felt like the problem with the big day, a large thing that I was just seeing with Chance, dog, it was really the Arnold. No. Is that the and I said, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. Yeah, that's Arthur, right? You get along with each other. Let me look it up. Arthur PBS. You gotta listen to your heart, listen to your beat, listen to the rhythm of the street. When he did that, right, I was like, bro, what is he doing? And then it was like that project was a lot of that, just the Disney Arnold remix, and It just wasn't it for me. Hot Shower was something that I felt like had potential, and then the internet made fun of it, and then it was like, oh, okay, I guess it doesn't have potential if the internet makes fun of it. Like once the internet gets a hold of something that makes fun of it, you're is done. It was like him and Logic around the same time, just like they couldn't do anything right. That the internet was just on their backs. It was just over with, right? So big day happens, it flops. Since he was so famous from coloring book and winning all the Grammys, he still did an arena tour afterwards. He had to end up having to cancel it because he couldn't sell enough tickets because enough people just didn't like the big day. All right. And then they made fun of the fact that he was rapping about his wife a lot and being happy in marriage, which is crazy because it's like he got back with his ex, she became his BM, and then they became husband and wife. Like it was a happy story, unconventional, but it was a happy ending for Chance at that time, and he was just rapping about how excited and happy he was. But like Rory said, people love pain at the end of the day, and here we go back. Starline 2025, a divorce, custody battle, all of the things, and Chance has put out some of the best music of his career. Now, I will say this. Not even gonna lie to you. I think a lot of people are saying and are gonna say 17 for 17. I'm not saying that. I can't say that. I think everything between 8 and 11 for me, you can skip. In my opinion. Space and Time reminds me too much of the Arnold remix Chance. Link Me in the Future has some moments, but it's still like the Disney sound. I don't know, but but that Chance loves that obviously because he just keeps doing it. Like the orchestra, big band, is rich, instrumental, and everything like that. It's rich musically. It's just it comes across as boring to me. I'm not gonna lie. Now the joint with Young Thug and Tia Korean. I love Tia Korean. Y'all know I love Tia Korean. Ironic, I was waiting for that song to come out for a year and it finally came out and I was so happy. And I'm sorry to Tia Korean that Ironic didn't take off like Freaky T has, but it's still early. It can take off at any time now because Freaky T is still going up at random times and stuff like that. But I love Tia Korean. I say all this to say I love Tia Korean. This joint, I don't know if she knew what was happening. She didn't. I don't know if she knew if Young Thug was going to be on it. And I only say that because she woke up and tweeted, "Yo, I woke up and saw that I'm on an album and on a song with Young Thug. I wanted a song with Young Thug for so long. Thank you so much, Chance the Rapper." I don't know if she heard the full song. If she knew Young Thug was going to be on the song, if she knew, maybe she did. Perhaps she did. However, we just got vibes from Tia on this track. It was like, it was all about her melody and bounce on the track and the vibe. Tia can rap. That's why I say this. I wanted Tia. If you knew you was gonna be on a song with Young Thug, you always wanted a song with Young Thug. Yeah, I feel like if anytime you get a song with someone you always wanted a song with, you gotta go off. You gotta go off. You gotta rap. And Tia can rap. And I'm kind of like, dang, like I wish Tia could have rapped on this song. Now, Chance, the hook and the subject matter, I think it's a bit weird. This is definitely Young Thug's testiest verse since getting out. So that was the thing. I was like Chance, you got to be careful. Like this Thug now, when you called him, he was probably like, "Oh, Chance, sunshine, rainbow, coloring book." What was the joint? Mixtape. Last time was mixtape. Mixtape. Like it was cool. They just rapping about rapping. This joint is a little more testy for Young Thug. So Young Thug, he kind of slowly going back to the new Young Thug of what Young Thug can be, as much as he possibly can, right? So I'm like, okay, that's Thug's verse. I just don't like the subject matter. I don't like the song. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You don't know how much I could really break it down. I just don't like it. Tree was one of the singles. I think it was the last single that came out before the album came out with Smino and Lil Wayne. The Erica Badu flip Maybe perhaps. Oh no, it's not even Erica Badu. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to the ancestors. India.Arie. I think that the India.Arie flip, I can't get past listening to it without just thinking about India.Arie. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't like it. Second, once again, subject matter. A love song to marijuana and advocating for the legalization of it and the decriminalization. Like, okay, I appreciate the smart message behind it of that it's just a tree and it needs to be legal and you need to decriminalize it and stop locking up black men. Like I appreciate the message. I still don't like the song. I just don't like the song. Because every time I hear it, I'm like, I'd rather just listen to the India.Arie version. Because India.Arie. Burn Your Block, I believe that was the Caribbean joint. Letters. Oh man, this record right here. Okay. So why I feel like those songs that I just focused on, right? 8 through 11, I don't like them. Buddy, I'm hearing some of the best rapping of Chance's career. Like we're getting peak Chance right here. And a lot of times people have trouble really acknowledging what the best of somebody's career is while they're noticing it for the first time. It takes some months and then they're like, oh, that was the best rapping of his career. That was the best music we've ever got from Chance. Boom. Crazy. Boom. Shouts out to Do or Die. I believe, is that a rap group? Chance put me on right there. Hold on. Do or Die. Oh, it's a trio. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, OGs. I'm sorry, OGs. So they're a Chicago group. I'm sorry, OGs, but loved it. Loved it. Jamila Woods, one of Chance's people that he leans on, man. Is Jamila Woods from Chicago? I'd assume she was because he works with her a lot. Yep. She's Chicago. Yeah, she's Chicago. Yeah, Chance is so Chicago, stuff like that. I like it every time that they work together. BJ Chicago Kid, the Negro. I love this song right here. Baby Chief Do It did his thing. He got the newest, the hottest new guy in Chicago right now with Baby Chief Do It. Shout out to Star Bands as well doing her thing in the city. But yeah, Baby Chief Do It definitely the hottest right now. And then Vic Mensa, of course, they've been making music again since 2020. And Vic, really the person that really got Chance rapping again. Like when they were doing the little lyrical exercises and stuff like that, and Chance had that, that's when Chance was really working again. And that's how we got the highs and the lows next track with Joseph Bodman. And, as you guys know, like, it's already just a great song, bro. I liked see that was around the time where I was like, bro, like Chance could really do this. He could do like make a comeback for real, because it was like he had y'all know when you get there. You'll know when you get that. The highs and the lows and the joints with Vic Mensa. I was like, okay. Yeah, Chance could definitely do it, bro. Like y'all know, I don't care for these songs. Burn Your Block, I believe, like I said, the Caribbean joint. Okay, I like it. Wine and dance hall music. Letters. This joint right here, the letter to the church, man, it was so needed. It was so needed with Chance because, Chance, he just kind of he branded himself so much as a Christian artist and a Christian and a Christian and a Christian, but Coloring Book, that I think a lot of people in the Christian community thought that was like an opening kind of like, oh, Chance is gonna become a Christian rapper, not just a rapper that's a Christian. And it never happened. He got worse almost, what I'm saying, out the Coloring Book of just like more vulgar or whatever and everything like that. And it was like, okay, Chance, what are we doing here? But Letters is just the letters to the church, the mega church, the state of the church, the problems he has with his current church, the problems he has with it's an open book discussion, as he said, with the Rory and Mal interview. New Rory and Mal, shouts out to Rory and Mal for that interview, by the way. An open letter to the Black church and all of his problems, all of his, kind of things that they need to patch up and stuff. I love this song. Love it. Absolutely love it. The subject matter on this album is crazy, bro. Like, even the songs I don't like, it still has meaning He's talking about something. It's not just time filling up space. I just don't like the songs. Letters, I love the message and I love the song. Speed of Light, oh man, he keeps it so Chicago, right? So he flips rest in peace to Bobby, right? He flips Commons to Light, right? Hold on. Let me see. Is Bobby, it was Bobby Womack, right? Hold on. Let me see. Bobby Womack. Hold on. Common the Light. Bobby Caldwell. Oops, so sorry. I apologize. Bobby Caldwell. God rest his soul, Bobby Caldwell. But Soul Chicago, he keeps it Chicago here with the Bobby Caldwell flip slash common flip with the light. Speed of Light. Shout out to Lion Babe. Shout out to Vanessa Williams' daughter, Jillian. Right? Hold on, Lion Babe. Dog, man, what? Back in 2014, man, let me tell you something about Lion Babe, bro. Back in 2014, man, was in love with the music and Jill just in general, man. Love them jokers. Anyway. Let me keep it moving. Pretty was off top. My first listen, I say Pretty and Speed of Love were two of my favorite tracks that I heard on it. Just off top. So Pretty was great. And then Jay Luck does what Jay Luck always does. Just like kind of how he showed up on No Names album a couple years ago, like a Sundial. Like he did the same thing, and I rock with it. Anytime Jay Luck speaks, we all stop and see what he has to say. Shouts out to Jay Luck, shouts out to representing the boot, everything like that. For sure. I rock with it. And then the ending track, just pretty much like kind of snapping at the fans. Snapping at the fans for writing him off and telling him to go back to doing acid and drugs and all of this stuff. And he's like, I was going through a divorce when I came in the game, bro. Like everything happened for me quickly. And I was 20 years old on tour with Childish Gambino, bro. Like, I don't know what the heck was going on. Like, and so for you guys to be like, go back to that. I'm 31. What I'm saying? Chances like 31, 32 now. Like, bro, I'm a father. I'm a divorced husband. Like, I'm just going through so much. And y'all's only concerned about me and my life is like making music that I was making when I was 18 years old and just on the road, on the groupies and whatnot and stuff. So but man, so beautiful, bro, of him talking about he was talking about this in a new Roy Mall interview too. I love that I watched it before I listened to the album because it gave me a lot of context with the album. And that's why interviews and media is so important. Artists, please keep doing interviews, bro. With your projects as rollouts and stuff to just explain it in ways that you couldn't get through just automatically through your lyrics and stuff like that and your content of the music, of the art. But the interview, man, he was talking about like his wife or his ex-wife, right? And seeing her in public, and they're in the same city, so he sees her all the time around the way, and of course they co-parent, so it's difficult because when he sees her, like those old feelings are still there, they just don't depart. Just like how it is with every breakup, your feelings are still there. The thing that makes it easier a lot of times is out of sight, out of mind. You don't speak to the person, you don't see the person. It's easier to kind of let go of the person in your mind, as opposed to when you have a child together and you guys have been married, it's constantly there. The reminder is constantly there and stuff like that. Anyways, people wrote off Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper ain't right back. Like I said, this project is not a 10 out of 10 for me. It's not a dang, Starline has no misses. I'm not gonna say that because I would be lying to you. However, 13 out of 17 ain't so bad. So with that being said, we're gonna go to the online calculator. And we're gonna do it like this. 13 divided by 17 is a 76. I can't give Chance a 7.6 for this one. I can't give him a 7.6 for this one. I think that would be like fair, but then I'll have to change my entire grading system. So I would say with this, I understand why people would give it a 9. I can't go 9 because I just don't love every track. But I love what it represents, and every song means something. I just don't love every song. So I would say, because he can't, like you, this is what I'm taking in consideration with the rating. He came back from people writing off his career. Like, people just gave up on Chance. Like, this album was not supposed to be, and then he came out with Tree, and I remember he was teasing Tree the song, and people are like, "Oh, this is gonna suck," and people are like, "This album's gonna be terrible," right? And he just kept going with the rollout, and he put it out anyway. And I appreciate Chance for even just doing that. A lot of people would have been so scared, they just would have hid in the cocoon for the rest of their careers and just like, "You don't want no problem." Like, he would have been doing that for the rest of his life. So, with this, all of these things being said, him coming back, it adds to his score. Like, I'll say this: 8.5, just off basis, right? But with the context of people trying to write him off, and him coming back as strong as he did, and still putting, like, not giving up, and still putting out music and stuff like that, and coming like this, and keeping it fairly Chicago, like Joey and Jasmine Sullivan, and who else? Joey, Jasmine Sullivan, and Young Thug, Tia Kareen, Smino, Lil Wayne, and Lion Babe, and Jay Lake. Like, it's only half of the features are not from Chicago. So all of these things being considered, bro, I had to give it an 8.8. 8.8. I don't know what I gave Chromacopia first listen. This is not better than Chromacopia. I think I gave Chromacopia like an 8.7, but this is an 8.8 because it was an 8.5 just by itself. But people wrote him off, and it's difficult to come back when people don't even want to hear you anymore. And to win people's hearts back and be like, "Chance is back. He beat the Wash allegations." Isn't, like, it's so beautiful, bro. It's a beautiful thing. And speaking of, like, one thing I was like, dang, this reminded me. Gambino isn't on this project, and Chance wasn't on the supposed last Gambino project. I felt like Chance should have been on it. Chance should have been on Bando Stone. You know what I'm saying? Just for, like, thank you, Donald. Like, you know what I'm saying? They've been such large parts of each other's careers. Like, it would have been cool for that. I don't know if they were waiting for, like, man, we don't need to be doing no more songs until we finish this project. I don't know what it was. And Rory and Mal is crazy because the last time they interviewed him was when they was on the JBP. And afterwards, Rory was like, "Oh, man, I forgot to ask him about that Childish Gambino project that was supposed to happen." I seen Chance one time in my life, and I asked him that question, "What's going on with the Gambino project?" And he ignored me. He didn't ignore me, but he looked at me. He looked at every word I said, and then he turned around and kept walking because he had to go. And I was like, that means it ain't happening. It ain't done. They left it alone, and they abandoned it. And it is going in the corner to be with Don't Tap That Glass of Tyler the Creator and ASAP Rocky. Is never seen the light of day. So there's that. But yeah, this was just something I thought of, like, when I was listening to the album and thinking about how Childish Gambino said his last album was his last album, and I was like, dang, they didn't do anything. What else do I want to say? What else do I want to say with this? I think that's it. 8.7, 8.8. They wrote him off. He came back. I appreciate that. Salute to Chance. A story of resilience. I wish I could go to his tour. He's coming, you know what I'm saying, to my city, the city that I currently live in. So I wouldn't have to fly back to Atlanta to go see him. The thing is, there's so much cool stuff happening in the city, but it's happening on the weekend. In the weekend, in the fall, I can't go nowhere because of football. It's football every single week. So I can't go anywhere, bro. So, but he's going to Atlanta like that same Monday. So I don't know if I want to fly in and everything like that for this. I don't know if I'm going to just spend all that money for it. However, y'all know on this channel. I'm quick to blow a bag on an experience to have some fun. So I don't know. Let me see how I'm feeling about the album in a week. I might just buy a plane ticket and buy a ticket to the Atlanta show. Fly to Atlanta on Monday or whatever to see it. But we'll just see. We'll just see. But shouts out to Chance. Shout out to Chance. There was something else I wanted to say about this album, but I forgot. I guess I'll just say it whenever I think about it. But yeah. Let's keep it moving. Rich Brian. Okay, Rich Brian. What's the next joint? I am pull him up.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.